Hello and welcome to episode 32 of Project Delta. This episode will be available until August 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sorry that this video ended up coming out a bit late. I'll be honest, it's kind of been hard to keep track of all of the different projects. Like, for example, I actually thought that this video was supposed to come out the 18th because that's when the Project Countdown Week 1 video is getting deleted, so I got those mixed up in my brain, and I don't actually put these on a calendar. I probably should, but I'm not very good at keeping track of calendar stuff, so yeah, it should not happen again, though. I think I am going to start using a calendar for this. I do apologize for that, but yeah, it has been a completely hectic um week, 2 weeks. It's been very hectic. There's been a lot of big projects that I did. Today's video is probably also the reason why I did not get this done in time, because yeah, I'll be honest, I just woke up like maybe 2 hours ago. I woke up at like 8 p.m. today, so yeah. I pulled an all-nighter to get that done, and it was hectic planning it out and everything, but it was very worth it and very fulfilling to get essentially a choose your own adventure thing done. And in all honesty, that was just a proof of concept. I know that the rock paper scissors thing is something similar to like what CGP Grey had done. I know he had done a video similar to that. Actually, it was very similar in concept, but the actual execution, I feel like, between the two videos was very different. I went in a very different direction because that was actually my original plan, because the way that that video ended up coming around was I don't remember exactly where the thought came from, but I know I was thinking of basically like a choose your own adventure similar to like what Markiplier had done with his things, and that was where the idea popped into my head. And I thought of rock paper scissors, and I'm like, oh, that might be fun. And then only after I started like the script and everything and working on it did I remember, oh wait, didn't CGP Grey do something like this? And I had actually put the video on the back burner for a bit because of that, because I was like, well, I just don't want to make the same video that someone else had made. But then I realized like the way that I wanted to do the video was different enough that I was like, I kind of was okay with it, because I was like, yes, they're similar, but I didn't get the idea from him, and therefore the video is different enough and a very different style and tone that I felt it was fine. But yeah, there's the idea behind it was also I wanted, like, if you haven't watched the video yet, you might want to go through. There's not a bunch of branching paths like your standard choose your own adventure. There's like, I'd say one large path, and then two just like endings, really, or technically three endings. And yeah, it was a very fun video to make, and I'm very proud of how it turned out. But I do think that it was basically just me learning the ropes for how to do something like that, because I would love to do a larger version of that and do like an actual proper choose your own adventure, because I honestly, that's just so fascinating to me. Which is really, it's kind of funny because I'm not actually the type of person that watches those choose your own adventure things. I've tried watching some of like Markiplier's ones, like In Space with Markiplier, but for some reason I just can't finish them. But also they're so fascinating to me and so interesting to me that I would love to try making my own. And honestly, I'm curious how it would turn out, especially since I haven't really watched another choose your own adventure, and like if I'd go at it from like a different way than the other people who have made videos like that have. And also, for example, like adding the Klingon audio tracks to have like a second layer in the choose your own adventure for the rock paper scissors was a ton of fun, and I'd love to expand on that more. And I can see so many different ways where I can make something so much bigger than honestly I think anybody else has made, like in scope wise, definitely not in production value wise. I don't think I could be something like In Space with Markiplier, because even though I haven't like watched the whole thing, I've seen enough of it to understand like, oh yeah, no, there's no way I could make anything that big. But I think when it comes to the density of stuff, I think I could make it a very entertaining story, and I have a lot of plans basically for things like that, and I think that this was definitely a test run, and it taught me a lot, especially how much time is needed for all the different things. Because, like, honestly, recording and editing everything wasn't that bad, but actually, like, lining everything up and getting everything to work for YouTube and everything was honestly the hardest part. Like, having to go through all of the videos and manually adding in, like, all the different things was just such a pain, and it wasn't something I was used to, but it taught me a lot about YouTube systems, which, I mean, I'll admit, I do love learning about YouTube systems, so, you know, I was happy about that, I guess, but it's been so much fun. I've been doing a lot of experimenting with the videos recently, and I've got a lot more experiments I want to run. In fact, some of them might be out by the time you're listening to this video. If you didn't listen to it, you probably didn't listen to it on the day it came out. You're probably listening to it on like the 16th or 17th, because yeah, I didn't get this one out in time. But it has been just so fulfilling to get all of this done recently. There's been so many big projects that I've done, and I'm just so happy with how everything's turned out, as well as the response to it. And none of them have been like view wise massive. Like, we haven't cracked 100,000, I think, since Project 100. But honestly, I don't mind. It has been so much fun. I think honestly my favorite thing that I've made so far throughout like my time on YouTube is probably Project Countdown. Like those 5 videos, it was such they were so interesting to make, and I'm just so proud of how they turned out, and I'm so happy with everything that, like, yeah, sure, the Klingon video might have more views, or like the WinRAR video might have more views, but that video, I am like, or that series, I'm just so happy with how it turned out. And I do think that over time, especially as like it starts to get closer to those videos being deleted, I do think more people will find those videos, and they'll like see the vision behind it as like it gets closer to those videos being deleted after like a whole 10 years for the last one. Like, that one's going to be insane. And although I will admit, I do wish that I had made one for 5 years. That's my one regret with that. But yeah, that's about it. Bye bye.